Namaste friends, welcome you all for the biology session. This is MGS here, Manjunath from CET Sankalp Crash Course. In today's class, let us discuss about morphology of flowering plants, that is continued part. So in the previous class, we were discussing about what is it, the structure of leaf. Now let us discuss along with that, we discussed about venation. So in this, right, we can take in this class we can take what are the different types of leaves. So if you consider that there are two types of leaves, simple leaf and compound leaf. So simple leaf, in which generally we can say that only a lamina which is not dissected into fragments. So if you consider this is a stem and this is the petiole, and that where you can say that leaf lamina is not dissected, right? So this is one dissected into fragments. So here leaf lamina is not dissected, is not dissected, or you can say that dissected into fragments, or we can also call it as it won't form leaflets into leaflets. So this is what we can say, that is the leaf lamina. Here we can say that leaf lamina which is entire, right? Or we can also say that, right, leaf lamina when it is incised, right, right, it won't reaches, or you can say incision do not touch the midrib. When it is incised, incision, what is that, incision will not touch or do not touch. So incision, when it is incised, incision do not touch the midrib, so that is what, where it won't form, midrib, it won't form leaflets. So leaflets, or we can also call it as pinna. So whereas in case of compound leaf, this is a stem and the petiole is extended and forms a rachis, right? On this rachis, the leaves are which will going to form the fragments, or you can say that leaflets. So leaf from the the axis, right, from the leaf axis, which you can say that which is extended, the petiole which is extended into the main axis, that main axis is called as rachis. So on that rachis we can see that is these, the leaflets, so such type of leaf which is called as compound leaf. So lamina is dissected here, dissected into the fragments, or fragments, or we can say leaflets, so dissected into fragments called, right, so which are called as leaflets or pinna. So in this we have to keep in mind, that is fragments are called the leaflets, leaflets which are also called as pinna. So this one is rachis. So here rachis is the main axis on which the leaflets arises. So these are called as leaflets. But whereas here in the simple leaf, no leaflets, leaf is entire, no leaflets, right? So now let us move on to the the different types of leaf. That is, when it is incised, here we can see it touches the midrib. Here we have mentioned incision do not touch the midrib, whereas here incision touches the midrib. Here incision touches the midrib. In case of compound leaf, touches the midrib. So different types of leaves. Generally in the compound leaf, in case of compound leaves there are two types. Pinnately compound leaves are of two types, and based on the pattern of arrangement of leaves. that is the compound leaves, one which is called as pinnately compound, other one is palmately compound. Pinnately compound and palmately compound. So in case of pinnately compound, right, so where the leaves which are arises on the the rachis, right, in this there will be either alternative or on the opposite side, but there in this condition generally the leaflets are arranged on the rachis on either side, on either side, on both side we can see, that is on both side of the rachis we can see that the leaves. So this is what we can say generally, right. If you consider this is on either side of the rachis we can see the leaflets. So these this kind of arrangement or this type of the arrangement which is called as pinnately compound leaf. So pinnately compound leaf, the best example neem. And palmately compound leaf, here which will be there generally we can say that is here it is called as rachis, here it is called as rachis, or in this case palmately, right, this is the tip of the petiole. When you can say that tip of the petiole, if this is the tip of the the petiole, here the leaves are arranged which are arranged or which appears like digits of the palm, which appears like digits of the palm. So how it is, so if you consider that generally, like how the fingers are there in the palm, right, same like that the leaves are arranged. So this is what a palmately leaf, from one particular point leaf arises, so that is what palmately leaf. So leaf here in this case the pinnately leaves are arranged, right, on either side of the rachis. So whereas in this case on petiole, right, on the tip of the petiole, the leaves are arranged, the leaflets are tip of the petiole, right, on the tip of the petiole the leaflets are arranged, on the tip of the petiole, on the tip of the petiole the leaflets are arranged, in the form of, right, arranged in the form of digits in the digits of the palm, which appears, or you can say which are arranged or appears, right, like appears like digits on the palms, right. So this is what you have to keep it in mind. Next in this case, the phyllotaxy, where we can say that the opposite phyllotaxy, right. So phyllotaxy means arrangement of leaves, right, the pattern of arrangement of leaves. Here we can say that the pattern of arrangement of leaves on the stem or branch of a plant, on the stem or branches, or you can say branch of the plant, plant is called as phyllotaxy. So leaves are arranged, there are generally we can say three types. One is alternatively, opposite, and the oral. So first one is alternate phyllotaxy. So in this case first one is alternate, other one is opposite, and one is which is oral. The type. So alternate phyllotaxy, opposite phyllotaxy, oral phyllotaxy. So in case of alternate phyllotaxy, the flowers, the leaves are which are arranged on the the stem, right, or you can say that the branch at each node. If you consider this, these are the nodes, on each node one leaf will be there, that will be in the alternative pattern. If one side, the first it is with the left side, in the next it will be in the right side. So leaves are arranged, alternate pattern. Leaves are arranged in the alternate pattern. So here in the alternate pattern, so where we can say that at each node a single leaf arises in alternate pattern, so in alternate manner. So this is what you have to keep it in mind. So whereas in this case, the leaves which are from each node, the leaves which are, what is it, arises pair of leaves, right? One pair of leaf arises, right, from each node, right? That is opposite, right? Opposite to each other. So this is this, if leaves are arranged in this manner, that is called as opposite phyllotaxy. So at each node two leaves arises. At each node two leaves, what is that, arises, or a pair of leaf, what is that, a pair of leaves arises, pair of, what is that, leaves arises, right? A pair of leaves, what is that, arises. In what pattern? That is in, arises in opposite manner, So old means if this is the stem, at one particular, what is it, the node, the leaves will be there, right? At one node there will be many leaves, more than 3 leaves which arises, and that forms a ole, what is it, the ole or layer. So if this is the condition, that is called as ole, what is it, the phyllotaxy, what is it. So this is at one node, these, like this, the leaves arises, like this the leaves arises. So this is a one node from where leaves arises. So this is what we can say old phyllotaxy. So in case of, what is it, the alternate phyllotaxy, here we can say that the hibiscus, China rose, example hibiscus, right, China rose, hibiscus, China rose, and along with that, what is it, the mustard, right, we can write mustard and sunflower. So these are the examples for opposite, right, sorry, alternate. And opposite yucca, that is Calotropis, right, is the best example for opposite. And along with that, what is it, the guava, right, Calotropis and guava, right. So these are the example. In case of old, that is, what is it, mainly we can say that the Alstonia, that is example here, which is Alstonia, right. So is the example. So next we can say, in some plant like insectivorous plants, the leaves are modified into the pitcher, or into the pitcher type, or you can say that into the pitcher shape, or where you can say that the pitcher or flask shape, pitcher or flask shape. So these flask shaped structure, which are also called as pitcher, which used to trap, flask shaped structure which used to trap the insects, that is what in case of insectivorous plants. So like, what is it, the Nepenthes, insectivorous plants. So that is in case of, what is it, the generally the pitcher plant or Nepenthes. So next, inflorescence, the mode of arrangement of flowers. So what is the meaning of inflorescence? So here one question I already discussed about racemose and cymose. The mode of arrangement of leaves, mode of arrangement of flowers on the, what is that, floral axis. That floral axis which is called as, what is that, a peduncle, which is called as peduncle. So peduncle, on the peduncle, how the flowers are arranged, mode of arrangement of flowers on the floral axis or peduncle is called as inflorescence. So there are two types of inflorescence. I have already discussed that while solving some questions, racemose and cymose. So in case of, what is it, the racemose, what is that, the succession is acropetal, right? Acropetal succession, right? Acropetal succession, whereas here basipetal succession. So here it is basipetal succession. And what is that, the growth is, what is that, the growth is unlimited. Growth is unlimited. Growth is unlimited, whereas here growth is limited. Cymos, growth is, main axis terminates with the flower, here it continues to grow. So main axis continues to grow. So that is what you have to keep it in mind. Main axis in racemose, it, what is it, the continues to grow, whereas here it, what is it, the stops, right? It terminates with flower. Main axis terminates with, what is it, the flowers. So that is what. And here the order of opening, so where you can say that generally the flowering which will be open, that is centripetal. Order of opening of flower, right? Order of opening of flower, which is, what is it, the centripetal, whereas here the order of opening is centrifugal. So that is towards the periphery and this is towards the center, right? Centripetal. From peripheral to the, what is it, the center, the flowers open here, right? Like in this direction it opens, whereas here this is from center to the, towards the periphery. From center towards the, what is that, the periphery, the flowers open. So this is what we have to keep in mind in case of, what is it, the inflorescence. So let us move on to the next concept, right? The flower. As we all know that the flower which are with calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So very important point here, point to be noted, that is the stalk of the flower is called as pedicel, right? So if this is a simple diagram we can write here, right? So if this is the, what is it, the flower, this is the stalk of the flower, that stalk is called as pedicel, and this is the swollen part which is called as thalamus, right? So stalk of the flower, that is a pedicel, and the thalamus is also called as receptacle. Thalamus is also called as receptacle, and this is the ovary, and ovary in which, what is that, generally the stamen will be there. Just I will take one simple diagram to represent the parts of the flower, and this is the anther, and this one is stigma, right? And anther, and this one is the filament. So anther and filament, what is it, which are the part of the, what is it, the stamen, and stamens which comes in the, what is it, androecium, male reproductive part, androecium. So whereas here this is ovary, and here we can write just the petal, right? And this one is sepal, right? Sepals. So this is sepal, and the collection of sepals, what is it, the collectively called as, and the petals, the collection of petals termed as corolla, right? So calyx is outermost, next to that is corolla, and then androecium, and then what is it, the androecium, right? Calyx, corolla, androecium, and the innermost oval, that is ovary, style, and stigma. So all these three together which comes under, what is it, gynoecium. So gynoecium, which includes a members called as pistil or carpel. So collection of carpels are called as gynoecium. So outermost to oval calyx, that is generally greenish in color, right, which protects the flower. Major role is helps in protection in the bud stage. In the, what is that, bud stage, protects the flower at its bud stage. And then next corolla, it also helps in protection. Along with that, it helps, it attracts, it helps in, it protects and it helps in pollination by attracting pollinators. Because this corolla, which includes the petals, they are brightly colored. brightly colored. They are brightly colored. So in this you have to keep it in mind. And androecium male reproductive and gynoecium female reproductive. So that is accessory oles. Accessory oles, there are four major oles. Two are accessory or non-reproductive or non-essential. Non-reproductive or non-essential, anything we can take that includes calyx and corolla. Calyx and corolla, these are the two non-essential oles. Non-essential oles. Whereas androecium and gynoecium, what is that? Androecium and what is it? The gynoecium. Androecium and gynoecium are, what is that? These are the essential oles, which are also called as, what is that? Reproductive oles, because they are involved in reproduction. Androecium is a male reproductive structure. Gynoecium is a female reproductive structure. In androecium, anther and filament. So anther is, what is it? The dithecus. Anther is dithecus, bilobed, and each lobe with dithecus, and each lobe with, what is it? The two chambers, and totally there are four chambers. Dithecus, that is two lobes, and each lobe with two chambers. So total, what is it? The two lobes with four chambers, which are called as pollen sacs. Pollen sacs, where exactly the microsporogenesis takes place and pollen grain development occurs. Formation or production of pollen grains takes place within the anther. Pollen grains with male gametes. Pollen grains with male gametes. And same like that, here the gynoecium, which includes stigma. So stigma, which receives, this is the landing platform for the pollen grains, or receptacle. It is the receptacle for receptive surface, right? Stigma, which is the receptive surface. What is that? Receptive surface for pollen grains. Pollen grains, right? So that is what, which receives the pollen grains. And style, which connects the stigma with the ovary. Ovary, which has generally the ovarian cavity, that is the locules. Inside the locules, the ovules are present. The ovules, which after fertilization develops into seeds, and ovary develops into fruits. So this is what actually in this case. So let us move on to the next concept. So here generally the some other point we can discuss, that is flower is actinomorphic. So when flower, we can say that the flower is actinomorphic. So if you want to say that the flower is actinomorphic based on the, what is it, the petal, and actinomorphic when flower shows radial symmetry, that is actinomorphic flower. And then zygomorphic. So zygomorphic flower, when flower shows, what is that? Bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. So these are the things you have to keep it in mind. And asymmetrical, what is it? The flower where no symmetry will be there, right? As we all know that what is the meaning of radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry, right? When plane passing through the center, any plane passing through the center, it gives two equal halves, that is a radial symmetry. And any one plane, only a plane can give two equal halves through the central axis, that is bilateral symmetry. So let us continue with the, what is it, the questions, right? So we can take a continued part, and also that is where different types of, what is it, the based on the ovary, based on the position of the ovary, we can take the, what is it, the right, the hypogynous, where, what is it, the ovary is situated above the level of all those, what is it, the all other parts with respect to the calyx, corolla, and androecium. So if you consider this is the, what is it, the thalamus, and that is above the level, right? The ovary is superior here. So in case of hypogynous, the ovary is superior. Ovary is, what is that? Superior ovary. In case of, what is it, the perigynous, of inferior and of superior. Of inferior and of superior, right? Anything we can write. So epigynous, that is, what is that? Generally we can say that the completely inferior. So ovary is inferior. So in dash flower, the margin of the thalamus grown upward, enclosing the ovary completely and getting fused. So in case of this, that is completely encloses. If this is the, what is it, the thalamus, like this, it will going to enclose the ovary. So this is the ovary part, and where is completely margin will be attached with the ovary. So this type of, what is it, the arrangement, or I can say that is, this is based on what is it, the position of calyx, corolla, androecium with respect to the position of the ovary, we can say, right? Ovary is completely present. What is it? It is completely covered by what is it, the thalamus, sorry, not hypothalamus, that is thalamus. So 11th one answer is, what is that? We can say epigynous. So of inferior and of superior, and that is completely superior, that is above the, what is that, the above the thalamus, So all other parts, calyx and what is it, the androecium, right, which are present, what is it, below the level of, what is it, petals are also present below the level, and where they are going to arises from the below the level of, what is it, the ovary, right? So that is where we can say which is the condition is called as superior here, and this is inferior, completely present within the thalamus. So 11th one answer is C. Which one of the following is an incorrect pair, right? Phylloclade, that is Opuntia, Cladoda, right, Ruscus, and Phylloid asparagus, and stem tendril grapevine. So in this case, generally we can see that phylloid, which is there in the, what is it, the, and in this case asparagus, right, in asparagus we can see that is cladode. What is it? Cladode. So this is the one, and Phylloclade, that is in Opuntia, and Cladoda, that is in Ruscus, and also Cladode in asparagus. So 12th one answer is, what is it, the C, it is a mismatched, and stem tendrils, that is a grapevine. Next, many pulses of daily use belong to the family. So generally the pulses belongs to the family, what is that, the Fabaceae. Pulses belongs to the family Fabaceae, right? So that is where we can say, what is it, next question. So here almost all the pulses, right, so which will be there, which comes under, what is it, the Leguminaceae, right, or we can say that the family, they all, it includes legume plants, right, legume plants, that is what we can say that pulses, right, like pea, beans, right. Seed is also called as a pulse, seed which is called as leguminous plants, which includes pea, beans, right. There are many examples, like, what is it, the other cereals, chickpea, right, moong, what is it, the, and other the names will go into, what is it, the call it as. So these which includes Fabaceae, right, and Liliaceae, which mainly includes, what is it, the onion and other, what is it, where we can say that the generally in case of, what is it, the Liliaceae, mainly which includes onion, garlic, right, Liliaceae which includes onion, garlic, where Fabaceae, that is the generally Solanaceae, which includes tomato, potato, brinjal, right, tomato, potato, and brinjal, right. So these are the one to keep in mind. And in case of, what is it, the Fabaceae, I have already mentioned that pea, beans like pigeon pea, soya bean, black gram, etc., right. Next, So next question, here we can say identify the group of plants possessing leaf tendrils. Leaf tendrils. So already we have discussed that where tendrils which supports helps in anchorage, right, which will be there in, right. So that is in peas and what is it, the glory, lily, and in this we can see that is what is it, the leaf tendrils, and stem tendrils will be there in cucumber and pumpkin. So that is what we can say, that peas and glory, lily. Next, in some dash the leaf base may become swollen is called as. So that is what you can say, that the leaf base may be simple without any modification. In some, the leaf base which form a sheathy leaf base, that is in monocotyledons, almost all grasses, right. And in some which is pulvinous, where you can say that the swollen, what is it, the leaf base, swollen leaf base. That swollen leaf base will be seen in what is it, the leguminosae, right. So leguminosae just now we discussed. So that is what in some, what is it, the legumes, in some legumes the leaf base may become swollen, that is called as pulvinous, NOUS or NUS, we can write both. Right. Next, in dash phyllotaxy, a pair of leaves arises at each node and lie opposite to each other, as in dash plants. So generally, pair of leaves which arises, I already mentioned that pair of leaves which arises from each node, right. So if you consider that opposite manner, so this is called as opposite phyllotaxy, right. Generally, what is it, the each other, as in. So example I have mentioned just now, right. In this case, generally the opposite and yakka, right. In case of yakka, that is also called as calotropis. So opposite and yakka, that is 16th one, C is the answer. Whereas what is it, alternate and hibiscus, that is in case of the flowers which are only one leaf at each node, that too in alternate manner, right. Parallel venation is a characteristic of monocots. Which of the following is an exception to this generalization? So generally almost all the monocots we can consider, right. So which of the following as an exception, because these are Similax, Colocasia and what is it, Alocasia, these are belongs to the generally the what is it, the we can say that Liliaceae, right. Whenever we are going to consider these, what is it, the Colocasia and all those things, right. So in which all these which won't show what is it, the parallel venation. So in this, the very important thing, so Colocasia which is there, generally Colocasia and all these which belongs to family Aracaceae, will say, right. So Aracaceae, in which generally Aracacia, the leaves which are what is it, the not with parallel venation, so that is what. So these are also flowering plant, but without, right. All of these are what is it, are from the exception, right. Which plant part is modified into pitcher or pitcher in pitcher plant? So just now I mentioned that leaves are modified into what is that, generally the sac like structure, or you can say that the bag like structure, that is the pitcher, right. So that is the one you have to keep it in mind. Next, match the column 1 and 2 and select the correct option from the quotes given below. So column 1, so this is generally in case of what is it, the seed, right. Aileron layer, and then what is it, the aileron layer, just we can have it this 1, 2 and 3. So aileron layer which is present in the monocot seed, aileron layer which is present monocot seed only, 1 minute, we can take, that is so parthenocarpic fruit which develops without fertilization, that is 1. So B1, right. B 1, sorry, that is B1, B option 1, and ovules develops into seeds after fertilization, that is 3. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ random ಆಗಿದೆ. And this one is, what is it, the generally this option is 2 and this option is 3. So C, what is it, the 3, and whereas A, which is the remaining one, 2, that which provides what is it, nutrition, that is a protein layer which provides nutrition, right? So answer is B, right? This is what the, based on the position of the floral parts on the thalamus, right? The flowers are described as hypogynous, perigynous, epigynous. Just now we discussed. So here we have a diagram. So this one is hypogynous, right? And this one is, what is it, the both these two are, which comes under perigynous, and this one is epigynous, right? So in this case the ovary is completely superior, and this, in these both of inferior, of superior, of inferior, or of inferior, or of inferior and of superior, right? Of superior, right? Whereas in this case the ovary is completely inferior. See, it is completely enclosed, and these margin of the thalamus which touches each other, right? Either which is going to completely, what is it, it's like completely enclosed. So which of the following floral forms, what is it, the AD represents the flower of Rosa and Prunus respectively. So in case of, what is it, the 20th, we can take, that is B and C, right? The flowers which belongs to, what is it, the perigynous, that is perigynous, right? Which are, what is it, the of inferior and of superior. So that is one you have to keep it in mind. So next here we can take that generally so answer for this is 20th B, right? So that is Rosa and Prunus, which includes, what is it, the this type of, what is it, the arrangement. So next here in this next question, before going to take, just I will give, what is it, the example for hypogynous. Hypogynous will be there in mainly hibiscus, hibiscus, right? And then perigynous, that is mainly, what is it, the which includes Rosa and Prunus, along with that pea and beans, right? Here we can also write pea and beans, right? And along with that we can also write, that is Rosa and Prunus, right? Whereas, what is it, the epigynous, so epigynous, which mainly, what is it, the which includes like guava, apple, right? Guava, apple and cucumber, that is epigynous. Guava, apple and cucumber, that is epigynous. So next, what is it, the question, we can take 20 seconds, find out the incorrect match. Sterile stamen, which are called as staminode, that is correct. And stamens attached to petals, that is epipetalous. Stamens attached to petals, that is epipetalous, correct. And stamens attached to perianth, right? That is, what is it, the this is wrong statement. And free stamens, that is called as polyandrous. So when stamens which are attached to perianth, generally we can say there are, what is it, the sometimes the stamens are, what is it, the fused. If when flowers in which stamens are attached to petals, they are called as epipetalous. When they are attached to the, what is it, the perianth, where we can't be able to, what is it, the distinguish calyx and corolla, that is mainly we can say that is tepals. So in this case, which is called as what is it, epiphyllous, epiphyllous. So epiphyllous, so this is not given here, right? So that is the C is the, what is that, incorrect match. C is the incorrect match. So if free stamen, polyandrous, right? Generally when the stamens are free, that is called as polyandrous. If they are fused, adelphous. If they are fused, they are called as adelphous, right? Next, marginal placentation is generally found in the family. So there are 5, what is it, the different types of placentation, right? So that is the marginal, axial, and then parietal, free central, and what is it, the basal, right? So whenever we will take that the placentation, so generally the arrangement of what is it, the ovules within the locules are called as placentation. Arrangement of, what is it, the ovules within the locules. Arrangement of ovules within the locules with the help of placenta is called as placentation. So generally there are, what is it, the 5 types: marginal, axial, parietal. That is, we can say that the marginal, axial, parietal, and what is it, the free central, and basal, right? So for this we can have one clue, that is map FB. So marginal, axial, placental, free central, and basal. So in case of marginal, we can see example, that is P and B's, Leguminosae, that is P and beans. In case of axial, that is, what is it, the generally is very easily we can remember, that is tomato and lemon, right? Tomato and lemon. In case of parietal, right, where you can say that the example papaya and mustard, right? So papaya and mustard are the best example. Whereas in the, what is it, generally in the free central, primrose, right? Free central, that is, what is it, the primrose. And this one is basil, sunflower. So these are the very important examples. So here let us come to that marginal Leguminosae. I have already given that. So generally found in, what is it, the marginal placentation seen in Leguminosae. So 22nd, the answer is, what is it, A. 22nd answer is A. Let us take 23rd question. Ovary is one chambered, but it becomes two chambered due to the formation of false septum. So that is what you can say that in the mustard, generally the mustard, right? So false septum, which is in the mustard and argemone. So that is where you can say that the parietal placentation. Because of this, we can see that parietal placentation because of the false septum. So in this, the argemone and, what is it, the mustard belongs to Brassica. Mustard and argemone belongs to, what is it, the Brassica family, right? Next, in this we can see that marginal, Pisum sativum, and this one. So that is the one you have to keep it in mind. Next, in dianthus, which is free central. And add missing floral organs in the given floral formula for family Fabaceae. So whenever we are going to take that, what is it, the Fabaceae, which mainly includes that leguminous, what is it, the plant. So in case of, what is it, the Fabaceae, the Leguminosae, which includes, what is it, almost all earlier they belongs to, what is it, the Papilionoideae, that is Leguminosae family. And in this, the floral formula, right? So generally we can say that the zygomorphic flower, right? So zygomorphic bisexual, we will write zygomorphic bisexual. And here the calyx, what is it, the 5 which are fused, and what is it, the corolla, which are arranged in the form of 1 plus 2 plus 2, that is fused, right? And then, what is it, the androecium 9, right, which are fused. Androecium 9 plus 9 fused, 1 free. And gynoecium, which is, what is it, superior, what is it, single, what is it, the monocarpellary. So if this is a condition, that is total 10 stamen, they are fused, 2 bunches, diadelphous, that is you have to keep it in mind. And superior ovary is superior, monocarpellary, superior ovary. So let us fill that, right? 1 plus 2 plus 2 fused, C1 2 plus 2, that is answer is the 24th answer is B, right? So this you have to keep it in mind. Almost all these plants belonging to the family which are the source of pulses, right? Fabaceae which are the source of pulses. So that is what you have to keep it in mind. Next, identify the missing word ABCD and select the correct option. So family Fabaceae and inflorescence. So here the missing word we can use here that is just I am going to what is it the fill according to this. So 25th question, right? So let us fill that. In Fabaceae we can see that inflorescence which is what is it the racemose, right? In Fabaceae which is what is it the racemose inflorescence, right? In two options we can see. Let us take A and B now, right? And next what is it the Fabaceae flower is, right? Generally we can take actinomorphic Solanaceae, and here it is, and whereas here in this case which is zygomorphic, so we can't select this. So 25th answer is what is it we can select A. Let us fill it first, zygomorphic, right? And here what is it the Liliaceae, generally the stamen, whenever we are going to consider that the Liliaceae in Fabaceae 10, in Solanaceae what is it the 5, right? In Fabaceae 10, right? And in what is it the Liliaceae 5, in that Liliaceae 5, right, stamen means androecium, whereas in this case the androecium which is there, that is in the Liliaceae we can see 3 plus 3, that is what is it generally whenever we are going to take what is it the trimerous flower, along with that 3 plus 3 androecium, what is it 3 plus 3. So this we can see that is 3 plus 3 in this we have, and here which is not a cymose, that is a racemose. So first one is the answer, and here monocarpellary. Just now we discussed that is superior and monocarpellary. Fabaceae superior and monocarpellary. So answer is A is the correct answer for 25th question. Next, so 26th question, this is what a placentation diagram. So in this the placentation diagram, the arrangement of what is it, the ovules within the locules of the ovary, and this which is there generally what is it the axile placentation, right? So which of the following figure represents typical placentation, what is it as seen in hibiscus, what is it Rosa sinensis, that is hibiscus and China rose. So if you consider that generally I mentioned that the China rose in which we can say that is axile placentation. So this what is it the example in case of what is it the China rose, there is in case of China rose axile placentation. So like how this cycle what is it the spokes will be there, like that from the center there will be originate. So here for this 26th question, right, so actually both are what is it the same, right? It should be without a septum, right? We can select what is it the A, right? Here slightly there should be a distinguish what is it in between that. So axial placentation in which the ovules are attached, right? Generally they are the multilocular ovary, they are attached, right, to the center, right? So that is what with the septum there will be with the, generally there won't be with the septum. So here in the axial placentation, right, which is generally the free central. So answer for this 26th we can select this one, but it should not be with what is it these parts, right? That is in axial placentation the ovules are attached to what is that the center, generally what is it the with a multilocular ovary, so that is what the axial placentation. So next question, so here the simplest way we can say that is generally the axial placentation, right? We can select both these two. Here we can have one more here in this. What is it? Let me make it this periphery to avoid a confusion. So let us take like this only. Like this, and this is the oval. So this is a B. So this one is A is the correct answer. This is, and B which represents a parietal. B which represents, what is it, the parietal, that is marginal. And this one is free central. This one is free central. And this one is basal. This one is basal. So that is what you have to keep it in mind. So A is the answer in case of monocotyledonous seeds possess a single cotyledon which is represented by. So single cotyledon of the monocot which will be represented by scutellum. Right. So that is the 27th answer is C. Right. So tegmen is the inner, what is it, the seed coat. Tegmen is the inner seed coat, whereas testa is the outer, what is it, the outer seed coat. Outer seed coat. Inner tegmen, outer, what is it, the testa. Inner tegmen, outer testa. Right. So next question. Coleorhiza and coleoptile are the protective sheet covering. So if you consider this is the just one monocot seed, we can write here, and this portion which is the embryonal axis. Right. So here is the coleorhiza which covers radicle, and this is a coleoptile which covers plumule. So plumule, keep it in mind, coleoptile. What is that? Coleoptile, Leop. You can remember P for plumule, just to recollect that. Coleorhiza, these are the sheet which covers radicle. Rhiza, radicle, plumule, tile, plumule. So let us take that. So coleorhiza first they are given. Coleorhiza which covers radicle, right, and coleoptile which covers plumule. Radicle and plumule, we can see that is in, what is it, 28. So answer is A. Next, endospermic seeds are found in. So endospermic seeds which are present in, generally these endospermic seeds which are there, sometimes we can say that the endospermic which are also called as albuminous seeds. Endospermic which are also called as albuminous seeds, right? Example we can say that is maize, in which seed contains endosperm. That will be remnant of endosperm will be there. Remnant of endosperm will be there. Remnant of endosperm will be there. So such seeds are called as endospermic seeds. And seed without endosperm, seed here with endosperm, they are called as endospermic or albuminous. Seed without endosperm, right? So without endosperm, they are called as non-albuminous, or we can also call it as non-endospermic, non-albuminous or non-endospermic, what is that, seeds. So that is what you have to keep it in mind. Example, what is it, the endospermic, right, seeds, we can say that the barley and castor. So maize, barley, castor. The example here, non-endospermic, pea, groundnut are the example. So both A and B are the answer for, what is it, the 29th question. C is the answer. So identify the different types of estivation. So here in this case, what is it, the generally we have, what is it, the four types of estivation: velvet, vexillary, velvet, twisted, vexillary, and velvet where the margin, what is it, which touches each other but no overlapping. So that which is called as velvet, right? And then what is it, the twisted, they will going to, what is it, they maintain one particular pattern. See, one margin is overlapped by, this margin is overlapped by one, and this margin will going to overlap the other. So if this margin is overlapped by, if this is the margin, that is 1 and 2, second member and third member, fourth member, we can write the estivation is the arrangement of sepals or petals, on the thalamus, right? If estivation in corolla also we can write, estivation in what is that, the calyx also we can write. So first member, if you're going to consider that this is the first member, one margin of the first member is overlapped by what is that, the margin of the other member, and the other margin will going to overlap the other member. One margin overlapped by other margin of the other membrane, and then the second margin, the other margin of the what is it, same member, which will going to overlaps the, it overlaps one which overlaps the other, and the one which is overlapped by what is that, overlapped by other member. So this which is called as twisted. There is particular pattern. See, this, if you want to, this is left and right. Right overlaps, left overlapped by, right overlaps, left overlapped by, right overlaps, left overlapped by. So there is a pattern, it is which one direction, particular direction will be there. So that is what twisted. If no such, what is it, the direction, see, this is both margins are external, they are not overlapped. But whereas in the other member, see, both the margins are overlapped, both the margins are what is it, overlap. And here, so what is it, the other members, three members partially overlapped, what is that, partially overlapped, right, partially overlaps, and so we can say that is imbricate, right, partially internal or partially external. So such type of what is it, the estivation is called as imbricate. And next D, this is the unique one which is called as vexillary, most commonly seen in Fabaceae, that is in pea plant. So the two which are going to fuse and forms a large, what is it, the large standard the standard member, or I can say standard sepals, and those two large one standard which will going to what is it, the overlaps, which overlaps the two medium size, they are called as wings. And the two medium size sepals or petals which overlaps the two smaller, what is it, the petals, which are called as keel, right? So that is what, if that is the case, this one. So identify the different types of estivation A, B, C, and select the what is it, the correct one. So just we can say that is A is twisted and B is imbricate. Twisted, imbricate, velvet, vexillary. Twisted, imbricate, velvet, vexillary. Twisted, imbricate, velvet, vexillary. So answer for that, the 30th question, that is D. This is very very important. We can expect such questions. So identify the family which shows the following diagnostic features. Flowers pentamerous, right? We can write that is the 5. What is it? The holes will be there. So flowers which are what is it, the pentamerous, and gynoecium bicarpellary. So gynoecium, what is it, the gynoecium, that is bicarpellary. So pentamerous, right? That is where we can say, in case of this we can write that is the flowers are pentamerous, where we can say K5 corolla, and what is it, the calyx 5 corolla 5 we can write pentamerous. And gynoecium, right, bicarpellary. Gynoecium, they have written bicarpellary syncarpus, they are fused, we can write like this, gynoecium, which is ovary placed obliquely. So ovary placed means what is it, the generally which is a superior, right, bicarpellary syncarpus, and ovary is what is it, the superior. And placentation axial and placenta is swollen. Placentation is axial placentation. So in case of this, generally axial placentation, where we can see that is in Solanaceae, that is tomato, best example tomato, right? So that is what answer is, Solanaceae, right? So 31st, the answer is A. Next, 32nd question. A plant has butterfly shaped, what is it, the flower with one standard, two wing like, and two keel of petals. That is just now we discussed as a Papilionaceae, Papilionoideae, Earlier, which generally the Fabaceae, family Fabaceae, what is it? The now it is called as Fabaceae. Earlier it was called as, what is it? Papilionaceae. Papilionaceae. So Papilionoidea, right? Leguminosae earlier. So all this which includes generally that I mentioned, that is pea, what is it? The gram bean, right? Pea, gram, bean are the example. So that is what the unique feature, that is vexillary, right? This type of, what is it? The aestivation which is called as vexillary aestivation, right? Next, which floral family has 9+1 arrangement, what is it? Anthers in the androecium. So just now we can discuss that 9 which are fused, that is diadelphous, and 1 is free. So this which will be there in the Fabaceae. So 33 answer is C. So just now we discussed, that is. Next, given figure is a longitudinal section of the monocotyledonous embryo. Identify the part labeled A, B, C, D. So that is the one which represents the cotyledon in the lateral side, that is called as scutellum, right? That is called as scutellum, single cotyledon, right? So D is, what is it? The scutellum, where it is there, what is it? The 1. So D1 we have in this option. Let us take other parts. So 34, what is that? And here, so B is, this is the radical B which is there, that is coleorhiza, which covers radical. This is a sheath which is called as, what is that? Coleorhiza, which covers radical, and this one is the shoot apex. What is it? A is generally which is called as sheath which covers, that is coleoptile and shoot apex, that is leaf primordia. Better we can say that is leaf primordia. So that is what, let us take that. Answer is A is coleoptile, A2, B coleorhiza, B7, A2, right here, A2, B7, C5 radical, C5, right, and then D1. So answer is B. 34, the answer is B. And next, 35th question. 51, right? So 35th question, right, where we can say that is Liliaceae. What is it? Floral. What is it? The formula for Liliaceae. So Liliaceae mainly which includes the commonly called as lily family, which includes onion, garlic, what is it? Asparagus, aloe vera, like that. So, and in which we can say that is generally, what is it? The perianth will be there, right? So perianth, that is 3+3, which are, what is it? The free, and where you can say that the androecium, what is it? Which is also 3+3. So 3+3, and gynoecium, which is superior, and what is it? The right superior tricarpellary syncarpus. So 35th, the answer is D. And here it is, the bract is present, bract, and then bract and zygomorphic, flower, zygomorphic, right? So that is what, and that is bract, and which is actinomorphic, bisexual, actinomorphic and bisexual, that is Liliaceae. So D is the correct answer. So 35th, D is the correct answer. Next, reticulate venation is a characteristic of dicots. An exception to this generalization. Reticulate venation is a characteristic of dicot, but there is an exception. I can say that the calophyllum, right? So calophyllum, in which we won't see that generally the characteristic feature, that is reticulate venation. So generally we can say that the right. So in this we can say that it is a tropical flowering plant, right, in which what is it, the generally belongs to Calophyllaceae, right, in which we will see which is like curve, what is it, the completely curved, what is it, the leaves with one, what is it, the prominent midrib. Here we can't say that is the reticulate venation, right. These are the evergreen plants, right. This is a type of evergreen plants, right. Next question we can take, that is so in which somewhat we can say what is it, the which resembles the parallel venation, right, 36. And which of the following symbol denotes the presence of tepals and epipetalous stamens in ovary, right. So tepals we can say P. So to represent the tepal, that is perianth, right. So tepals which are also called as perianth, where we can't be able to distinguish. So perianth we have only in this, right. And then epipetalous, they are fused together. So P and A, right. So 37 answer is B, right. Next. So here, that is the mango, what is the fruit they have given. The outermost, which is called as epicarp, and middle mesocarp, that can be what is it, the edible, what is it, the fleshy, and C, which is endocarp, right, that is hard, where you can say that the D is what is it, the seed, D is seed. So epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp, seed. So 38 answer is what is it, the B. So here where you can say that the edible part of the what is it, the mango, see edible part is mesocarp, right, whereas in coconut mesocarp is not edible, that is endocarp, right. Next, this identify the types of inflorescence shown in the given figure. What is it shown in figure? Select the correct option A and B. What is it? A, see lateral flowers are there, right, when you can say that the generally it is growing part. So this main axis which is going to grow, right, whereas generally the flowers which will going to what is it, the arrange. So in this, what is it, we can say it continues means main axis continues means racemose, right, and in which we can say that is acropetal, right, that is the young flowers at the apex, and what is the older flowers at the base, so young flowers at the apex, so that is, and here see it terminates, main axis terminates with the flower, that is cymose. So A is racemose and what is it, the B is cymose, racemose and cymose. So that is, here we can say that is basipetal. See at young flowers at the base, what is that, at the base, and then older flower at the what is it, the apex. So next, so in Opuntia the function of photosynthesis is carried out by, right, cladode, phylocladode and stipules, right. Opuntia, where we can say that generally in case of Opuntia there will be a flattened, what is the green expanded structures, that is the stem modification, that is phyloclade. So these are the one which helps in photosynthesis. So with this we can conclude this chapter, right. Thank you.